Okay. Hi everyone, this is Meganadha here. In this video, we're going to learn about software industry, and we will see some process details, and we'll also learn about project types that we have in IT industry, and we'll also learn about team roles and responsibilities in software projects. So the next half an hour, you're going to learn some details which are related to these. So with that, let's see the agenda for this small video. So the main goal for this video is to give you a clear idea on the types of software companies normally and types of projects we have in IT industry, and SDLC process, so software development lifecycle process we are going to see, and what are the different steps that we have in SDLC process. And also we will see normal roles in a particular team of software project. So this will give you some idea on how the software project processes will work. This is very introduction level video which will give you some idea on this process. Okay, so with that, before we move on to let me introduce about myself. So I have around 10 years of IT industry experience. I worked for companies like Deloitte, Accenture, Cognizant, and Infosys, and I have almost trained around 1,000+ students as of date in various technologies, be it ASP.NET, be it SQL Server, be it C, C++, or HTML, and various other technologies. And I have received some awards from Accenture for the trainings which I have conducted. And if you are looking for any live online trainings, you can reach out to this email ID. And the technologies which I take care of C, HTML, CSS, and these are some of the technologies which I'll be handling. Okay, so with that introduction, let's jump into the topic and let's get started with software industry. Okay, first, software company is all about a company which involves creating software and for the benefit of customers or clients can be categorized as software company. Basically, software company generates or creates the software tools, or if you take a simple example, Microsoft is a software company which will generate or which creates the softwares like MS Office, Windows operating system, Hotmail, Visual Studio, etc. Or Google is a software company, and the products from Google are google.com, Gmail, Google Drive, YouTube, etc. And Yahoo or Adobe or Infosys, Cognizant, etc. are examples. These are some of the examples for software companies. Okay, so with that, let's see what are the types of one more point to note here is not only software companies. So companies, if you take for example the company like Boeing, Airbus, Audi, Amex, so these are primarily not into software industry but still which are product based companies which will also have software development departments. So if you take for example Boeing will have its own software department unit, and also it might outsource the software requirement for service based companies. So it is not necessary that software projects are only from software companies. Even in other products, companies also will have very big IT domains so that they want to make their day-to-day activities easier by having software in place. Okay, so now if you see here Boeing, Airbus, Audi, etc., they have manufacturing industry, so they will also have software projects, although they're not categorized into software companies, but they have their own software wings and software products. And so this is manufacturing domain. Amex and Wells Fargo, so this is banking industry. And so Amex is also having huge IT division, IT department, so which will make their online business, banking online business, or credit cards online business, so whatever. So all those online business that is getting involved, they will have very big IT department, or sometimes they will even outsource their projects. And WellPoint, if you see here, is now it's called as Anthem. So this is US biggest health insurance domain company. And Walmart or ShopRite, you might have heard about this. I mean, I'm sure. So they belong to retail domain. So irrespective of the domain, it can be whether it can be manufacturing domain, or it can be banking industry, or it can be health insurance domain, or it can be retail domain. Every division will have its own IT wing. So now, a software engineer need not only work for software companies, he will be working for any of these domains as well. Okay, so now let's go to the next one. Software companies normally will be categorized into two types. One is product-based and service-based companies. So let's see one by one. So what is product-based company and what is service-based company? Let's see now. First, we are going to learn about product-based company. So product-based company means these companies will have their own products and will work on those software. So if you take, for example, Adobe, they have their own products. Facebook, social marketing, social media, Facebook website. Google, they have their own products. They'll work for their company. Microsoft has numerous products, and all the team will be working for themselves. So product-based companies means the companies will have their own products, and the development team will work on those products, and that they plan to deliver it for their customers. Okay. Now, some points to note on product-based companies is that normally product-based companies will pay more salary and perks than service-based companies. Not always true, but if you take an average of product-based companies versus the average of service-based companies, the pay-wise will be more for product-based companies. And in product-based companies, recruiting process will be very well structured, and here the bench strength will be less than service-based companies. There's a point to note here. So the bench strength means bench in IT industry is called as number of resources who are waiting to get allocated for a project. So if you take service-based companies, anticipating that they will get some big project, they will have a pool of resources waiting for that project to get allocated. So that strength, if you see in product-based companies, will be less. So almost every resource will be occupied in product-based companies with some other project. Very less resources will be in the pool which are waiting for the project in product-based companies. Now, in product-based companies, they will do very much calculated hiring process. So if they are going to make some huge enhancement for their product, or if they anticipate that there is going to be a demand for almost next 1 or 2 years or 3 years long line, they will go for recruiting. If they see any short-term requirement, they normally go for outsourcing than resourcing and recruiting the team for short-term, or they go for contract employees, or they go for outsourcing the project. Okay. And also these product-based companies, they don't take instead of they themselves working on the product with their complete employee strength, they also prefer giving the project for outsourcing. So for example, Microsoft normally outsources work to service-based companies like Accenture or Infosys or etc. So like this. So these are some of the points to note on product-based companies. Now let's see about service-based companies. So service-based companies will help other companies for completing their projects. So they might have their own products as well. So some of the companies, service-based companies, they have their own products, but the primary goal of service-based companies is they work for projects from other companies, and they help other companies in completing the projects with the employees they have. So if you take, for example, service-based companies, we have Accenture, Deloitte, Infosys, Cognizant. So these are some of the service-based companies. So now the points to note for service-based companies are, let's see that. Normally the bench strength here will be more than product-based companies because they have to showcase. Imagine if a big product-based company is giving some project for service-based companies, they have to showcase that they have bench strength, proper bench strength to handle the project. So normally bench strength in service-based companies will be more than that of product-based companies. Now skills, if you see the skill set in service-based companies will have wide range of skills because service-based companies will work for multiple companies. So they might have mainframes domain, they might have .NET, Java J2E, PHP, or Bitstock server, or TIBCO, or whatever. So because they work for multiple clients, there is more scope that service-based companies will have the employee skills which range from more than what product-based companies will have. Okay, and also service-based companies will be helping Fortune companies in completing their projects. So normally Normally service-based companies will do huge recruitments when compared to product-based companies. Okay, so not always true, but that is an ideal scenario. So let's go to the next one. Now that we learned about the difference between product-based companies and service-based companies, now we are going to learn about types of projects in IT industry. So software projects can be categorized broadly into three categories. There are mainly development projects, enhancement projects, or maintenance or production support projects. So I'm not going to discuss more in detail about them, but I'll give you some idea on that. So if we are going to start a project from the scratch, from zero, from ground level, so those projects are called development projects. So a team will work on that from the beginning, and they will complete it, and they will deliver the project. So that is called a development project. Now, enhancement projects. So imagine there are some product which is already in place, and we are going to add a lot of functionality for it. So that is called modification or redesigning or enhancing an existing project. So that comes under enhancement projects. Now coming to maintenance or production support. So normally there is a product in line which is already in there, which customers are using it. A lot of customers are using it. Now imagine on a day-to-day basis or occasionally we will be getting some issues from the customers. Let's take a simple example. So initially when the product was designed, so for storing name, the database character we gave as varchar10. So later on, one of the customer whose name is more than 10 characters has reported that he is not able to save his name in the database. It's giving some error. So in order to facilitate that, we might need to provide a patch, increasing the database size to 12 characters or 15 characters. So that type of work, which will be done as a maintenance for the product, so those are called maintenance or production support projects. Okay, so normally this maintenance or production support will be 24/7, because sometimes if imagine if the application got crashed for some reason, the IAS buffer is full, or some deadlock happened, and the system got hanged. So in that case, someone has to be there to look into that issue. So that comes under production support project. Okay, so now with that, so these are the three types of projects. So development projects, enhancement projects, and maintenance or production support projects. With that, let's go to the next section. Okay, now we'll see about SDLC process. So like every industry, we have some process, and right from beginning of a project till we complete the project, there is a process that we need to follow. And broadly, on a very high level, so SDLC, there are two types of software development lifecycle models, which are Waterfall model and Agile Scrum model. So there are some other models as well, V model, and there are so many other SDLC, software development lifecycle models. And primarily, these are the two models which software companies do follow. So in this video, we are going to learn about Waterfall model, and in the next video, I'm going to post about Agile Scrum model. Okay, so now let's see about how the software project from the beginning till the end, what are the steps that are involved in IT industry, IT software development lifecycle. Okay, so first thing, imagine that we are going to get a project from Amex, and Amex is planning to outsource their project to Accenture. Amex is planning to outsource their project to Accenture. Now first thing what Accenture will do is, Accenture will try to get all the requirements from Amex. So let's take for example, Amex wants to do their process online for some of their projects. Now Accenture will get the details like login page, registration details, what are the details that need to be displayed in all the pages, how the screen should look like. So all the details they will get clarified from Amex. So that process is called requirements gathering. So first Accenture will get all the requirements from Amex, and they will get the sign off from Amex once all the requirements are documented properly. Okay, so that phase is called requirements gathering phase of Waterfall model. So once the requirements are clear, Accenture will do all will analyze the requirements, and then once the requirements are analyzed, high-level design will be done by the architect. So like three-layered architecture or MVC pattern. So whatever it is, the skeleton of the project will be designed by architects, and that constitute high-level design. And detail level design also will be done by architects or senior developers, including class level diagrams, methods that need to have in the classes of different layers. So all those things will be done by detail level design. And then developers will do the coding. And once the coding is done, testing will be done by QA, quality analyst. And if they find any issues, again it will go back to the developer, and developer will fix it. Again, if they find any issues, testers will find any issues. So this process will continue. And once all the issues are fixed, code integration will be done. So integration is nothing but when different teams are working on a product, so the complete code developed by different teams will be integrated into a single product, and that process is called code integration. And then integration testing will be performed by QA. So once integration testing is done, now what happens is code development. So code deployment. Code will be deployed, and we will give the code for user acceptance testing. So here comes Amex. So we will give this code to Amex, and Amex will perform this user acceptance testing. So user acceptance testing will be done by the product company, the company which has given the project, not the company which is working on the project. Okay. And then once user acceptance testing, Amex has done that, and if they feel any issues, again we have to fix it. And then if no issues, they will move to go live. And once it goes to go live, the customers of Amex will be able to use that project, and Accenture will be providing support, warranty support. And initially, what are the terms they have agreed on, like 1 month warranty support or 3 months warranty support, whatever it is. And then we'll get the feedback for the whole project, whether we met the requirements, or we'll get the feedback from Mix, and we will close the project once we get the feedback and all the details. So the customer is very happy. So we'll get the feedback and learnings from where we can improve. All those things will be documented. And in case if Amex asks for any maintenance, Accenture will be doing that maintenance. So I'm using the names Amex and Accenture just to make that concept very clear. So don't take it otherwise. Just for understanding the concept, I'm using the names of the companies. Okay. So this is how the software development lifecycle waterfall model happens. First, requirements gathering, and then analyze the requirements, do a high-level design document, detail level design document, use them as a reference for coding. Once coding is done, testing, and once all the modules are done, code integration, and once code integration is done, integration testing, and once integration testing is also done, we'll deploy the code. Once deployment is done, users or Amex resources will do user acceptance testing. Once everything is fine, go live. And once in go live, project is live. And in case if the actual customers gets any issues for 1 to 3 months, we'll be supporting, and that's called warranty support. And then we get the feedback from the Amex, and lessons learned, everything will be documented, and project will be closed. In case if Amex asks for any maintenance, we'll be working on that maintenance. So this is how a traditional waterfall model works. Okay, so with that, let's say the next one we are going to learn now the roles in IT companies. So normally these are the roles which we see in IT industry. The first one, any resource who is recruited, initial 0 to 3 years, he will be called as associate software engineer, where a mentor will be there who will be continuously guiding the resource about the process, about the technology, or whatever. So about the team, whatever. So that's why he's called as associate software engineer. Okay. So remember, these roles vary from company to company, and ideally, or normal scenarios, this is how the roles will be. So not necessary that every company will follow this. Okay. Some companies they call a systems engineer. Some companies they call a systems analyst. Some companies there are software employee. So software engineer, or even some companies they call as project engineer. So that depends on company to company, the role. So 0 to 3 years we call as associate software engineer, who will have a continuous guiding mentor, and also who will do the code reviews for this associate software engineer's code. And now once 3 to 5 years we have a role called software engineer, and 5 to 7 years senior software engineer, and 7 to 10 years. So normally after senior software engineer, he can decide to go for either management side, or he can even decide to go for technical side. So if he is more inclined towards technical side, from senior software engineer he can choose for technical architect role, or if he's more inclined towards management side, he can choose for project lead role. Okay, and after technical architect, if you are chosen for technical side, it will be senior technical architect, enterprise architect, etc. And coming to project lead, after project lead it will be project manager, and after project manager it will be senior project manager from 13 to 15 years, and above 15 years we can call it as director. And after director we have like VP or senior vice president or whatever it is. Different roles will be there. So ideally these are the different roles which we see in IT industry. And not only these roles, there are different roles as well. So let's see once what are the other roles we have. So we have some other roles called quality analyst, who will be testing the application for quality, and serial quality analyst, senior QA, and business analyst, who will understand complete requirements properly. So business analyst will be the person who will be directly discussing with the client, like in this case in Accenture, when they get the project from Amex. So Accenture will have business analyst who will understand the complete requirements from Amex. So that person is business analyst. And technical writer, so in case if we need any documentation for any product, so we will have resources for technical writers. So not only these roles and responsibilities, so we have a lot of additional roles as well in IT industry. And just I have highlighted some of the roles so that you will get some idea on the roles which we follow in IT industry. Okay, so that's all for now. So if you like this description, if we like the video, subscribe. And it's not all done, you have a small quiz, you have to take it up from the description of YouTube. I have mentioned a small link from where you can take quiz. Okay, so do take the quiz and test your knowledge on this video, and don't forget to subscribe. Okay, so thanks for watching. That's all for now. I'm signing off. This is Meganadha for you. Thanks. Bye.